it kind of helped him advance. I mean, do you think this was a conspiracy?
Got to go with Jacob Butter. Got to go lefty.
No, we're talking about the players. That's tournament champion into the podcast.
There he is, right there.
Oh, he doesn't even know how to watch. Go to youtube.com and search Down Lane Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
It's a little different in here.
Down Lane Podcast. I am your co-host, Anthony Scaccia. I mean, the host, Anthony Scaccia. Kyle's not here tonight. It is his son's birthday. You know, if he was a real one, he would be here, but I guess not today. Today, with me, I've got the producer across the table from me.
We're in here.
Austin VanBuren.
We're in here.
It's unbelievable to have you crossing. It's your second time on cam. We're going to get after today, but before we go any further, we do have to introduce our big guest this week, Larry Gagliardi to my left. The Iron Lotus is what we call him here. It's great to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a privilege.
Are you sure?
I think
I don't
so.
know. But here we go. Like, subscribe. Click all the bell alerts on YouTube. Make sure you get all of our information to your face. Share with your friends, people who like to bowl. We like to talk to everybody. Listen on your favorite podcast outlets, and please give us a 5-star review. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, the Twitter. We're on all the socials, people. We love to talk to you guys. And remember, email us all your questions and episode ideas at downlanepod@gmail.com. I'll say that one more time, downlanepod@gmail.com. Comment us to us during the show, and we'll get to your questions as long as we're not bombarded. Well, boys,
Hey, did you see we got Carl and Sarah in here?
congratulations. How's it down under, Carl? From gosh darn Australia.
So good at that.
Thank you. I actually, when they were in here, we were working on the Australian slang. Hopefully, I think they're coming back.
You mean the UK slang?
I know he's from UK, but Australia, I was messing with him. But believe it or not, I believe they're coming back in March. I think it was. I did see it on Facebook. So there's a possibility of reuniting, and it feels good.
Wow.
Was that okay?
That was pretty good.
Pretty good.
Very close.
Very close. Wow. Kyle says he's fired already. Jesus.
I don't
Am
know.
I doing that good?
I'll tell you what, I'm not sitting in this chair every week. It's fun back there.
February, by the way. Carl's coming back. But on today's episode, we are going to get to some local action we've had here in the past weeks. We're going to discuss how we bowled 2 weeks ago at a team event. Some of us with the TNC Titans who go to nationals. We're going to talk about our official topic is going to be from the Lotus. That's why he's on the show today. We're going to talk about how to go from league hero to tournament hero. And talk about the steps you take, stuff like that. And of course, we'll have Bowler of the Week. And most importantly, happy birthday to Zachary James Haynes. He's 7 years old today. Congratulations, Zach. They did get.
They're having dinner without us.
His dinner of choice was Kraft macaroni and cheese.
That's not a bad choice.
Cheap date.
Cheap date.
It's not a bad.
Absolutely.
Not a bad choice.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely. But no hot dogs, no hot sauce, nothing. Just mac and
No
cheese
hot dogs.
from
Huh?
the box.
Wow.
Good kid. Good kid. So, Austin, I'm going to pretend to be Kyle here. Austin, how was your week?
My week was great. Work has been, when they say you're busy, but you're not busy? That's how this week's been. Didn't get much bowling in.
I know, we haven't
I've
seen-
been pretty busy.
We haven't seen you much. It's hurting my heart.
I'll be back soon.
Man, this guy has a crazy name I'm trying to find. Larry, while you're here, how was your week? How was your scores? Oh, by the way, everybody, Austin shot 300 last week.
Thank
Sign
you.
the bells
Thank you.
or whatever that's called. Get the whistles blowing, whatever. Congratulations. It's like your 40th, whatever, and you're like 5 years old. Larry, how was your week? How was your performance this week? Let me hear what you've got going on, baby.
My week was great. I got a lot of Christmas lights up, so that was very solid.
Me too.
When I wasn't doing that, I bowled really well. A little tournament here, 956 on Sunday.
Yeah.
719 in league on Monday, 743 in league on Tuesday. Feeling good?
So you're consistent.
Sounds like some things are clicking over there.
Things are finally
Listen.
clicking. Week 13, it's the one.
Man, week 13 is bad for me.
I'm hoping by
Season.
like week 15,
Yeah,
everything's ironed out. It won't happen, but
yeah, it might. It might.
oh, it never happens.
So, all right. So everybody's doing good.
Good bowling, good living.
Living, laughing, loving, everything, eating good food. So we're gonna start off with a little, I don't know. It's a little kind of weird. Kyle texted me today and it's like, "Hey, they came out with this. You need to check this out." I was like, "All right, Kyle, slow your roll," because I don't know what I'm doing in this seat right now. Like, I need to guide you to greatness. I feel like, and usually he does that every week for me. Here we go. The PBA will be selling tickets to PBA events this coming year. Last year, obviously, with COVID, I don't believe they had any fans. It was all...
No, I don't think they had fans at any.
Yeah.
It's only the family spectators, I think.
Yeah, I think it was family spectators. It was really weird to see. It was kind of like eerie in those events. I mean, they had they had the cool banners going on. They had the music, like just like it was real. They had the fake fan music. But I mean, man, imagine bowling. I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind it, but it'd be empty.
Yeah, but when you get used to bowling in that atmosphere so many times, I feel like the quiet kind of it's a shock.
Yeah,
It's a shock
So
because you don't expect it. You're expecting the crowd.
Yeah.
Like football, there's no crowd. There's nothing. You've got nothing. They play with no fans. So I'm assuming it's got to be very similar to bowling. Like, you're expecting to have a little bit of that energy to feed off of.
Yep.
And you've got the music, you've got the lights, you've got the show going. You're like, man, I can do this. And now there's just absolute quiet.
Well, that's
golf.
what I didn't like about the playoffs last year, because there was no fan. Part of the playoffs in bowling was the fan interaction with the bowlers.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're 100% right.
Yep, you're hearing it with every shot. There's a lot of engagement.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, I don't watch a lot. I try to watch some PBA stuff. I have an Echo, Kyle. I know we have no idea where it's coming from. This is where you need to be here. So don't yell at us.
Well, it probably doesn't help that we don't have headphones on today.
We don't have headphones on either today. Sorry, Kyle. But yeah, so it's great to see that they're gonna have some fans back. I'm sure the pro-ams will be great. Seems like a lot of people are enjoying those on some of Darren Tang's videos and stuff like that. So it's good to see that the people are back and the people are able to enjoy bowling, seeing the pros bowl, not just on TV, but in real time.
Yeah.
Real time. So
Bring the fans back.
bring the fans back. I love it.
That'll be a good time.
Also, I don't really know. Kyle was ranting about something else on the schedule, and I'm just gonna put it out there. We're gonna wait till he comes back so he can gather his thoughts and unleash next week.
I know he wanted to.
I don't. You know how Kyle is with that stuff. He's always got he's very opinionated on it. So we're gonna let him talk about it next week.
He's gonna unleash.
He probably will. He's an angry elf recently, so it's Christmas time. Got a lot of work to do. But in other PBA news, we have the Harry Golden PBA Rookie of the Year nominees announced today, and all I have to say is who? I mean, I don't listen. I'm not being mean, but there is no I just had to look up the points. I can't even find a guy. I've got everybody's points in here. So
Matt Russo, I think I saw him on YouTube.
He's a two-handed lefty who puts the thumb there. Have you ever seen him, Larry?
No.
So what we've got, the 6 finalists are Matt Russo, Wesley Lowe, Anthony Newer, Zach Weidman, Ben Vieira, and Dio Bernard. So what we've got is our point leader is Zach Weidman. He's got 7,145. The next closest is Matt Russo at 5,895. And Anthony Newer has 5,309. And Wes Lowe, believe it or not, only has right around 3,000. And Dio Bernard has a little over 1,000. And this Ben guy, I couldn't even find his name on there. I have no idea who he is. I hope he has a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find his name. So Wesley Lowe did have 900 in a sanctioned event.
Ooh.
Was it sanctioned or unsanctioned? I think it was sanctioned in a tournament, and he lost the event. It was handicapped. Can you believe that? Imagine shooting 900 and you don't win the event. Yes, Anthony Newer made the 710 on TV. He is the ginger assassin, they call him. He's absolutely crazy. He's got that, Or is it business in the front, party in the back? That guy. He's got the
Yes,
mullet,
he does.
and it's unreal to see, and it's red, and it's fiery.
Wow.
You know
I
what I'm
might do
saying?
that.
Larry, I would love to see you in a mullet.
I might.
Have you ever had a mullet?
How
Yep.
can we?
You had a mullet.
I had long hair back in the day. Rocking hair, like bottom, lower.
I
to
feel like
back.
we need a picture.
I can produce a picture.
He can produce
But
a
not
picture.
now.
Not now, but he can produce a picture. I'd love to see it. I would. I'd love to see you back in a mullet.
It
Would
was
love
real. It was real. I had a
Everything you did
mustache.
is
I had
real.
a thick mustache with the long hair at one point. So it was a Jesus look. It was pretty heavy.
Did you rock it?
Yes, I did.
Did you wear thong sandals to be like Jesus?
No,
Oh.
no sandals, tethers,
So
Tevas.
Kyle's also texting me as we're on the show. This is why you're supposed to be here, Kyle. We did have a poll question out this week. It was, do you prefer scratch or handicap tournaments, and why? Now, I have no whys because I have no access to the Instagram instance. I do have that 77% of people chose scratch over handicap. Does that surprise you?
Really? That does surprise me.
Because people who prefer scratch typically, like they're putting it in here a lot, they don't show. Oh, I don't bowl in handicap events, but they don't bowl in scratch either. So,
Yep.
What is it? Larry just got his first taste of a little bit of scratch action.
Yep, scratch action's good.
We're not going to get there just yet. But it's interesting to see that 75 or a little more than 75%.
That is surprising to me.
That's
I would think it would be.
4?
I think it would be switched exactly the other way. I think it would be 75%.
Wow, I'm bad at math.
75% is 3 out
Dad
of 4.
said scratch is the only way to go. Dude, I said 3 out of 4. That is no, that can't be.
75%.
369. Oh yeah, that's right. Because 4 times, 3 is 12. Right. 3 out of 4. I was
I don't know
right.
what math you just did,
I did it.
but I thought
I got it right, guys.
Just
It's
think of
okay.
quarters.
I did get it right.
Do you think those results are just along average lines for the most part? I mean, average. Once you start averaging 220 and up, you're not getting
I don't
any
know.
pins. You don't want to bowl.
I mean,
against
it really-
people who are getting pins.
It really
money.
comes. I think it also comes down to what the tournament setup is,
Agree.
handicap or scratch wise. If they're doing a handicap tournament up to 240,
It's still
that would be worth it to bowl in for your higher average scratch bowlers because they might even get a couple pins here and there.
Mhm.
But when it's like 220 and a low
you're
percentage,
you're in the
high
middle
percentage.
ground. You're in
Yeah.
the middle. You're in the middle. You get some pins, but you still got to shoot 230 a game, and it's there's a middle ground of people, believe it or not, where if you put a certain I've done I've looked at the scores obviously after on tournaments, and guys who fare to be around 213 to 220, they typically don't do as well because they don't have enough pins, but they're right around the cusp of a little bit above average, close to an average. So they kind of they lose a little bit of pins. I think they would need more because they're right on that bubble. They're of your better, your average, and they're kind of just wedged there, and they don't get enough pins. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how it happens typically in
I
the
could see
events
that
there.
spot being also though bowlers that are very capable of knocking out of the park and are still getting a few pins. I don't know, but you see
It depends. It depends. I mean, yeah, of course, some people are better 220 bowlers than others, right? So sometimes you see guys
but then
220
you
and he's
get in
better.
the argument about what house they bowl at.
Yeah, well, exactly. It makes it extremely hard. I like the scratch events. I think they're a little bit they're easier to run. That's for sure.
Yes.
But the handicap bowlers, where most of your people are going to bowl from. So
Ron Williams mentioned. I like handicap because it makes the scratch bowler have to bowl good.
I have to bowl good in every event I go to, regardless if it's handicap or scratch. So it really doesn't matter what the event is for myself.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to mindset.
I guess format
too. If you think that bowling in a handicap tournament makes you bowl better, by all means, bowl in handicap
absolutely.
tournaments.
I think that you go to those events where they are handicapped and you're a scratch bowler. I mean, yeah, you got to bowl good, but shoot, if I hit my average and my average is 240 and you base it off of 240, half the time I'm never going to win because I have 300. If I average 240 and I bowl here, I've only got 60 pins to go. If I bowl a guy who averages 190, who is still very capable of having a good day,
30-something pins.
they can get what? They can get 110. They can go up 110 pins.
Yep.
So I have a maximum at a point. And if I'm bowling scratch, it's extremely hard for me to be able to keep up. If you look at the scores this week, to keep up, Larry bowled this weekend. Bowled great. What did you shoot, 950?
950.
He was 50 pins off the pace.
It's crazy.
50 pins off the pace. Now, he'll get into it. I'm sure we'll talk about that. But we'll skip on that because we're going to start talking about tournaments now. We're going to talk about some local events. Just to kind of beef it up, we'll get to our main event right around 7:25. Hopefully, let's see how it goes. So this week we have hosted the holiday shootout, which we were just talking about handicap events. It was 90% at 240. Larry shot 950, and I think he was probably pretty close to the middle of the pack, probably about 25th or so. We had 80 entries. First place was $500. That went to Jake Rivers. He shot 1063 scratch. It's an absolute boatload.
Yeah, that's
Load of cash was $1,000. Load
some pins.
of cash was $80. The entry fee was $40. Keep it relaxed over there because you see the notes. Can't talk too much about it yet.
Nope.
But you did have a little bit of a performance here. You know, talk about a little bit how you bowled. You missed the cut by 50. What could you have done a little bit better, you think?
Yeah. Really, I started off slow, a couple early mistakes till I got in my rhythm, and then games 2 and 3 were great, and then on game 4, I couldn't end the love affair with the proton physics. It was time to move on from the ball. I knew it, but I was trying to defy, destiny and get it down the lane, and so I gave up a lot of pins through the 5th frame, and then once I made the move, I went off the sheet, and it was okay.
Definitely needed a ball change game 4. Once you ball change, though, it seems like I think you went off the sheet after you ball change. So fighting the ball change, was probably your downfall there. You also shot 203 in the first game. I've got it right here. 203, 289, 244, 220. Still bowled pretty good the last game. You were really on pace this second and third game. But that first game seems to be what cost you. What happened the first game?
I started off with like the first 5. It was starting off well, and then
I remember you were in brackets because I put you in.
Yeah.
Where's the brackets?
And,
Where's brackets?
I don't know. I flipped one and it bit and it went through the nose, and then I just couldn't kind of get back
snowball
off
a little
the sheet.
bit.
I'm pretty good at doing that.
Yeah, right. You can stay clean after that, but it's too late.
Yeah, you're especially in a tournament like that where the scores are so high.
Yeah.
It was on the house shop, so but it was a little fun event, keep you a little bit crisp.
Very good event.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it a lot.
I'm glad you bowled. We had 80 bowlers, which was pretty good.
We did have you had a 300, right?
We had 2 300s. We had Martin Patel, who had 300, and then the next 7.
Wow.
I thought he was going to go back to back because his look was absolutely phenomenal. And then Chris Smith shot 300 the last game, and I think that propelled him to. I think he finished around 5th place.
I think he was 5th.
Yeah,
I
think it was 5th place.
But you're telling me a couple of lefties shot 300 at the tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just lefty love and all
Lefty
that.
Lefty love, baby. I mean, you know how it is, baby.
I do.
Always the lefties.
I do.
Speaking of lefty love, we should thank Larry for our wonderful addition to the shop.
Yeah,
until Christmas
you can see
time.
behind us to our left, we had a Christmas tree. He even customized it with some little things. It says, I heart TNC. This is a hard game. My father says that, so underneath it says Jacko. It's got carry is a bad word. I told him that. I think that's the first thing that flipped your script to bowl.
That's a genius statement.
Thank you.
It's like a proverb.
It's like a proverb. Yeah. Tattooed on your arm.
We can make a book.
Yeah.
And then it's also got, you're not that good, because Kyle always says that. And,
Another proverb.
Yeah, another proverb. You're not that good. Just tattoo on your right arm when you throw a bad shot. Kyle Haynes. This is not. You're not that good. And we discussed
That's not a bad
things.
idea.
It's a little tree. It's a testimony to faith.
Yeah.
Christmas.
First annual DLP tree.
Yeah.
We appreciate it,
Larry
Larry.
always brings in the goodies. By the way, always candy on Tuesday.
Yeah,
You can't eat this tree though.
No, you can't eat that tree.
He's the one that did the towels, right? The banners?
Yeah, Larry has gifted us the banners.
This is the guy.
Podcast banner, the big dog banners where the honor scores were up. They are filling up quickly this year, so make sure you get a 300 or any 100 here quick so you can get your name on it. Because it's filling up. Austin, you on that? Are you on that banner?
Once. Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Good.
I bought them, but I'm not on.
I put my
You're
name.
not on it yet, but you'll be. We're thinking.
I put my name up there once.
Once or twice.
No, just once.
You should probably put it up there.
There was way too many on that one.
You put your name up on that one?
Yeah, once.
Here, go ahead.
It's like 300 rings now. You just do it once, you get your glory, and then just,
I put my name up there every time. So this weekend,
I'd rather have my name on it.
This weekend, we have got Diggers Doubles coming up. It's an over 50, under 50 event. It's another local event here. $4,000 for first place. I am bowling with my father, the old man, old Chubster. He practiced a little bit today. I practiced a little bit last night. Austin, are you
Sunday 9 a.m.
Sunday at 9 a.m.? He's
with
bowling
my
with
old man.
it's AVB Junior and AVB Senior. They don't have the same name, but that's what I call them. We just drilled your dad new ball, by the way. Artie, it's ready in the shop. I know you're on the show.
Yeah, I was trying to take some guesses at what you were gonna drill him.
What do we get him? Do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He said he wanted something pearl, so I guessed the white widow.
No, he actually went against that. He didn't even want that. He said
Really?
he doesn't like the color. Never heard Artie VanBuren say that. But this
I
week,
never have either.
yeah, this week, 42 feet. The reverse buffer drop is 38 feet. Not like that many people care. Did you just end up getting that picture?
Yeah, it's up there.
It is?
Yeah.
Austin's going to put it up. That's what we're bowling on this week. It's not a great picture.
They get the gist.
They get the gist. Believe it or not, they do not oil outside of board 3.
I can make it bigger. You just keep talking.
Yeah, so there's no outside loads of, I believe it's 3 or 2. They don't put any 2-2s in it, so basically that leaves the pattern a little bit more wide open. It is 42 feet, but the gutter looks like it's going to be open. The expectation for one of us is that one of our teams is going to win.
Both of them.
Guys are talking what balls are you going to throw. I probably won't throw the Quantum Evo Pearl. I'm probably going to try and get into urethane or use some bowling balls that are a little weaker. That's pretty nice right there. I'm probably going to get some weaker equipment because typically when I get into the stronger stuff like a Proton Physics or a Zenith or something that's got a really big cover stock on it and a really strong weight block, it burns up for me on that long of a pattern. So I like to get into the Pearl stuff or some weaker ended stuff with some better cover stocks. Bonus, Trailblazer, Results Plus. Those are kind of my 3 that I've got in the bag. And then urethane. And my Stellar is going to actually make a trip. I used it a little bit today. I practiced for 3 shots without shoes on, and it looked kind of good. So,
Without shoes on?
Yeah, I just went out there and threw it.
I don't have the confidence to do that.
Sometimes when you got it, you got it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so we got that going on. Expectations, Austin. What are your expectations this week?
Hopefully stay around the pocket.
Stay around the pocket.
That's my end goal.
My expectation is to win.
I would like to throw it better than last week.
Oh man, I throw it so bad right now. It's unbelievable.
I'm starting to do that old just rip the cover off the ball.
Chainsaw. Larry, you ripped the chain? No, Larry's pretty straight. Nobody knows Larry's game. He's a mythological creature, they call him.
All I know is when Larry practices on a pattern, he's going to shoot numbers when he bowls on it next.
There you go.
That's one of the things I'm learning is you got to retain, you got to remember what you bowled on, what you used, where you.
Yeah, I forget what tournament it was, but we practiced Saturday or I think it was a Saturday afternoon before the tournament. It was for the TNC, the tournament club.
Tournament club.
Yes.
You practiced on that pattern. You lit that.
I will say
up.
that actually brought him. I think that helped you in the turnpike.
I
when you
definitely think so.
That was a heck of that was good.
Yep.
We're gonna get to that, folks. Don't worry, we're not gonna get too crazy into it. So this weekend we hope to throw the ball pretty well. Can I start throwing it better tonight? After tonight, Dave? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, Dave. I got to bowl Dave tonight. We'll see. Position round. Maybe I'll start throwing better tomorrow. I don't know. Last but not least, we did go bowl. Not we. I don't mean we, but Kyle, myself, Joey D, and Jake Shank. We go to nationals. That's our team for nationals now. We did go to a team tournament this weekend over at Town Academy. Just to kind of freshen up, with the guys, talk to some guys. Yeah, because, we still go to nationals. That's our team after we had a decent year. So we're going to keep the same team. Just to kind of see what guys are throwing, how they're bowling, how they're playing the lane. Just talked a little bit about it. We didn't have a great day. I shot 705. Jakey had 750. Joey had 630. And Kyle had about 660. Not a bad overall day. Pretty good. But if you haven't gone over there, they do have a bunch of squads, so make sure you go over there and support
Absolutely,
it.
yeah.
Nice little team event. Maybe we'll have to bring the Lotus over.
It's fun every year.
It's a hittable.
They do a lot of raffles too.
Yeah, a lot of raffles. Hittable shot. You can definitely hit the pocket. It's a little harder than a house shot, but it's not overly challenging. So if you have some friends who bowl, they have some handicap, head over there. You have multiple squads.
Yep.
But when my Baker's Doubles comes around, you better be here.
We'll be here.
So we did all right. Just a little practice. I did use 3 bowling balls. I don't usually have to do that, but I went through 3, and the transition game was pretty tough. The last game for me, like game 3, I was stubborn, didn't change balls, didn't bowl good. Then I changed balls and I bowled halfway decent. I shouldn't say I didn't bowl I bowled okay. I threw the ball like garbage. We've all been there before.
You've been telling me it's been a rough week.
It has been
week and a half.
Oh, it's been enough like 2 weeks for me. Kyle writes Titans. Yeah, whatever. Kyle, you're not here right
Mitch
now.
Young had a question for us.
Yeah.
If you were on the PBA tour, what would your strike song be?
God's Country, Blake Shelton.
That's a good. Have you been thinking about that song the whole podcast?
No, that song is
That was
awesome.
instant.
Just think about like
I
the
don't even
bells.
think you thought about it.
You know? Yeah, and it's total intimidation on the other guy because I'm just,
I would
Big
probably
acceptable.
need a solid 2 to 3 weeks to think about that.
It's got to be God's Country. Or if I die,
How many
I gotta come
songs
back.
are out there?
Or if I die, I want to come back
A
and
lot of
country.
choices.
Yeah.
I go Pantera. I know I'd be in the realm.
Lotus is into the
That doesn't surprise me.
I definitely, but which piece? I think about that for a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had to take it too. I just put, gosh darn, put Blake on. I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Would you be the only PBA player to have a country song as their walkout song?
I don't know. I
Are
don't
there
care.
strikes?
I'm just, it's gonna be strictly
That'd be
intimidation.
Country isn't always intimidating.
But when it has bells in it,
Okay.
and it's not like God's Country.
Bells.
Yeah, it's got bells in it.
That Applebee's song, maybe?
No,
that's the
Applebee's
opposite
song.
of where you want to go.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to scare them.
God's Country is a little more deep.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to scare
All
them
right,
into
I'm gonna have to
intimidation.
check it out. when we
Yeah.
leave.
We'll play it right now.
No,
Okay, yeah,
Not really.
you can sing it.
Man, I don't know if you want me to do that. Yeah, don't get me pumped up too early. I got a bowl tonight. So we are going to hit the main topic. We're hoping that we get a great little flow here because Austin is a tournament player. I think I'm a tournament player. Larry is on the verge. You in it? What do you think? You're up and coming?
I'm becoming a tournament player.
Becoming. Larry's blossoming
Yeah.
into a full-grown person for bowling, and he's going to be a tournament bowler.
Balls
So
for money.
both, yeah, he loves it. So he came to us, Kyle and myself, I think it was me, and he said, "Hey, I got a great idea for the show." It was right after the Turnpike Open, which is an event I hosted. It was a scratch event for, I think it was $4,000.
somewhere in there.
But it ended up being like 2 or 3. We didn't hit our number, but he said, how do you go? It was great. How do you go from a above average to good league bowler, or great, the 10%, the 5%? How do you go from those guys into being an above average to great to hero of the tournament world? And we've been trying to get Larry on for 2 weeks, but Parker Bone, Thanksgiving, the UK people,
the UK, Carl and Sarah,
the UK, the UKians, we're calling them the aliens.
They're from down
UKians.
under.
Down under. I mean, yeah, Aussie. So we talked about it for a bit. And how did you come up with the topic, Larry? Let's start. You started from ground zero.
It was, I don't want to say rude awakening, but you bowl in your league, your average goes up, you average whatever, 220, you start averaging 230, and then you jump into a tournament and you realize like how many really, really good, smart bowlers there are, how well they know a lot of them know their equipment, and you realize you're competing with a lot of talent, and so all of a sudden you knock back down and you say
You go from big fish in
yeah,
a small pond to average fish in a lake.
yeah,
Is that what you say?
yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And aside from the bowlers, you have these difficult conditions, regardless of who you're bowling
Conditions
against.
change, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to the higher money scratch events.
Yeah.
Obviously, the pattern goes from house shot, rec shot to your typical sport challenge pattern, whatever it may be, and that makes the game even harder. So,
And it'll change on you day to day within the tournament.
we're gonna get to that too. That's awesome.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, man. It's not easy.
Yeah. So Larry made the cut on the Turnpike Open, and describe, what was it like? You're going from I made it. You're excited. You're confident. You hit roll call. What happens?
Roll calls mildly terrifying. So I think it was like a setup because it was here at home house and
You're comfortable.
familiar faces,
Yeah.
and comfortable. And so the first day is just everybody bowling. You're generally rooting each other on, and so I'm up there. I might make the cut. Cool. And so you're not really. I wasn't in tune with what that I was doing something really cool, good for me. And then the next day, that's when roll call and it all kind of set in. And everyone was more somber and the faces were more unfamiliar. And
You might have known
my
one
heart
person.
rate was very, very high.
Right. You knew one person, right? You knew Kyle. Kyle, believe it or not,
Yeah, I knew
our
Kyle.
actual host, who is not here today, your assistant to the host is talking. Kyle made the cut.
Yeah.
Larry comes in a roll call. You didn't act nervous there because I
No.
ran roll call, right? So I looked and Larry looked determined. I think he was sitting to the left at a table.
Yeah. And
Right?
I was
just
comfortable
chilling.
at that point. I came in, I'm cool. I'm here on day 2.
Yeah.
What's not to be happy about?
Right.
And
So
it slowly sort of, shifted as we got closer to actually bowling.
right. So when he gets there, we get to the lane. Of course I screw up who has freaking choice because I'm not paying attention at all. Like I'm like, yeah, it's been a long 2 days. You've got choice, and the guy's like, no, I have choice, and I was like, oh yeah, you have choice. That's right. All right, you got choice. And then it kind of I think it threw you off a little bit.
Sure.
I think it threw you off a little bit because you're like, whoa, what's going on here? This guy's dead serious. Usually it's kind of like a little more of a lighter feeling,
Sure.
but I mean you're bowling for some decent amount of money here.
Yep.
You make the cut. I think we only had we had to have 8 finalists? 8 finalists.
Do you have any buys?
Yeah, we did. Maybe we had 10. Maybe we had 10 finalists. I don't remember. But Larry's got a bowl first round.
10 makes sense because
Yeah.
you took
I think we took 2 extra at the end.
Yep.
We paid him. So a few guys had buys. So Larry gets Steve Wagner. Steve just comes off the 8K.
great bowler.
Yeah, great bowler.
Yeah.
Comes off the 8K win a week ago at Glens Falls. And Larry gets.
So he's in a group.
Oh, no, you got Craig Taylor.
I got Craig Taylor first, and we both kind of struggled.
Yeah.
But I struggled worse, I guess.
Okay, so hey,
it was at that point my heart rate was pounding. I was taking deep breaths, but they weren't deep enough, and I could never really just get the ball off my hand with anything. I was way too tight.
You're just nervous.
Yeah.
So
nervous.
you think those guys had an advantage over you because they're week in, week out guys?
I mean, sure. I don't like the idea of an advantage. It's not an unfair advantage. It's an earned advantage.
Yeah, right. But do you think they had a little bit of an advantage just because?
I have to think so.
Because they kind of been there, done that. I think that was you were the only guy who had never made a cut before. The rest of that field, it was John Wilbur, Nick Messino. They have won many tournaments.
Yep.
Craig Taylor, plenty of tournaments. Steve Wagner just coming off 8,000. He's won plenty of tournaments. You had Ryan Bertrand, who's from out of town, who's pretty good. Zach Bogholz just came back from college bowling. He's pretty good.
He's having a phenomenal year, too.
He throws it really well. You've got you, and we had the guy who bowled in a regional the day before and didn't make the cut, so we stopped by and bowled here. That's 8. And you got Kyle, who's made many cuts, and you had Mike Colby. So we did have 10. And Mike Colby's been there, done that. He's bowled a ton of events. So, you might have been like the fresh meat kind of guy.
I mean, I don't even know those names because I don't really follow
those guys.
closely enough. So I didn't.
They're not from the area.
Well,
most of them.
I think it would be him and then Kyle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's been there, done that.
He's had a lot of experience in tournaments.
Absolutely.
But
He's been there, done that. So I don't think he was nervous at all. But your first event, you've both seen some big names.
Yeah, it was very cool. Like Austin said, I took from a tournament a month or 2 ago, TNC tournament, and it was a similar pattern, and I kind of tried to force something all day, and at the very end, I made a big move, and what do you know?
Almost made the cut. I remember that.
So I tried to, this time I started to do the same thing, and then at like 3rd frame, I said, no, I'm not going to watch this movie again. And I made a big move, and that's what had me score to get to second day. So there is an accrual of experience, and you can pull from that. But that was first time day 2, so that was like, oh my god, overwhelmed.
So we've got the overview. Larry gave us a great overview. We can paint the picture. It's like the Mona Lisa, but with eyebrows. Now, if you've got to go step by step, if you've got to go step by step to become from league player, better league player to tournament bowler, I did actually write some steps down. I don't know if you guys agreed with them. I don't know if you looked down. I know Larry definitely did. 1, we had practice. 2, arsenal building / learning about your arsenal. 3, we have getting out there, gaining the experience, and just bowling in general. And I think that's all I had was 3. Wow, there's way more to that, but that's all that could come to my head right away. But we have some stuff to talk about.
There's plenty of in between.
Yeah. So practicing, becoming better, practice is super important. Because here's the thing. You go into a tournament like that, how is your spare shooting?
Great on house shot.
Right. So see great on house shot. So that's the thing. So now we go in and we look at it this way. Bowled pretty good that event. Might have missed a few extra spares. Might have cost you a few pins. Okay. For me, spare shooting is probably the most important thing, and practice in general. So, how often do you practice is the question. I mean, how often do you practice, Austin?
Not enough.
Not enough. Larry?
I practice in league.
There's not enough.
That's it. I just joined more leagues to force myself to bowl.
It's a night out because it's a scheduled event. You're able to get here. The wife can't yell at you too much.
She's brutal.
I mean, for me,
for
me, it's just laziness.
Yeah, I don't get to practice either.
I live 30 minutes away now, so it's like,
I did offer you to practice last night.
I was already laying in bed.
I did practice last night.
Laziness.
It is tough for me to practice.
7 o'clock in the evening, laying in bed.
But I will say that, for me, it's the same kind of deal. Practicing for me, I'm here all day. I am here. It is what it is. When it comes to 9 o'clock at night, when there is an opportunity to practice and I don't have to deal with people for X amount of time, typically I just, I'm going to go home or I got a bowl league or whatever the heck it is. And league is still practice for me in a way. I still try to score, but it's not the same as just sitting there and not counting score. So I don't practice enough either. So first step is definitely get your practice in. Make sure your fundamentals are in tune. Make sure your swing's in tune. Make sure you're able to hit your target. If you're able to hit your target, your fundamentals are good. It's not just, hey, go out there and hit your target. It's, well, if you do X, Y, Z, you're going to be able to hit your target. And then, I don't know what drills you do. Do you do any drills? I mean, I might do a one-step drill or a release drill every once in a while if I'm throwing it like garbage like I am right now. Or I just kind of just bowl it out. But if you practice, what do you practice too? Do you do any drills? Is there anything specific you work on?
You're asking me?
That's kind of everybody.
I mean, I don't have any specific drills that I kind of migrate towards.
You're free balling, homie.
I honestly, for the most part, for me, it's all footwork related.
Timing
related is everything. If I have bad timing, I don't even throw the ball the same. It's not just that I miss my target. I don't even throw the ball the same.
Yeah, so X causes Y causes Z. Timing's off a little bit. You probably don't throw it as good and you don't hit your target as well. So you're
So most of mine is footwork. It's not really the arm swing. I don't really force my arm swing until I'm letting go. So a lot of it is that first and second step.
Okay, so you're all footwork. I am just all over the lot. Larry, what are you gonna practice, brother?
I like to mess with my release because I'm not a big hand guy. I don't really get a lot of turn on the ball. But I like to kind of try to see how far left I can move and see if I can put turn on the ball when I need to and if I can begin to.
So it's in the arsenal if needed to
be able to do it. Muscle memory and practice it.
Right.
Trust me, the guys that hook the ball, like me and Anthony, we try to learn how to throw like you.
I'm straight. I am straighter.
Well, you got more ball speed than me.
But yeah, so the other thing is, know what you're practicing on too, right? So Larry works on his turn, Austin works on his footwork. That's probably why I stink. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just kind of walk up there and chuck it.
I know you're throwing the ball down the lane.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but make sure what do you practice. Make sure you have an idea and a agenda. Be real with yourself. You know what I mean? What are you good at? What are you not good at? And that's going to help you get better.
And know that what you may be practicing on is different than what you're going to encounter in a tournament. So at least be aware of that.
Like we're talking certain patterns. That was the next little cue here. Larry, you are just
Paige. Before we get off this topic, Paige Nelson said foul and one steps are underrated, and I would have to agree.
Yeah,
I think just about every bowler that just starts the bowl should start there.
Absolutely, work your way backwards. I agree. But talking about the certain patterns too. Is there anything, a lot of guys like to just practice on sport shots. I see Jason Sterner out there on, he's out in Rochester. He practices on a lot of sport shots. That is what he does for a living. So let's not get crazy here. He's probably going to bowl in that 90% of the time. He only practices on sport shots. It seems to be for myself, league. I guess I'm practicing on whatever's out there.
Yep.
Larry, awesome. What are we practicing on, gentlemen?
practicing on whatever's out there, unless you have a great proprietor who's going to put out some shots that are atypical, that are challenging.
Right.
And, I mean, you did that. Was it throughout the summer?
Yeah, throughout the summer. Some small events.
It was great. And there it is. You can go and bowl on some volume, on some, know what you're bowling on.
See what the next step's about.
See what the next step is about. See what
I think once you get on those patterns too, you're able to learn a little bit more, and you're able to create a little more experience for yourself. Because then you can kind of say, okay, when you get to a certain pattern, say, well, it's got this much volume, this much. I can kind of create a general idea of what bowling balls I need, what I'm going to use, where I like to play the lane.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean,
experience is the best teacher. My father used to say it. It's as simple as that.
Right.
You can't simulate the lane conditions. You can't simulate the tone of the competition. You can't simulate any of that unless you go out and simply do it.
He's very accurate.
Yeah.
Smart man.
Then the last thing, I guess, besides drill, we talked about drills a little bit here and there. Spare making. Kids practice
You have to do
spares, yes, because you're supposed to make spares. I don't know how to preach this enough. I don't know what you guys do. I throw straight at spares. I kind of created my own method by just trial and error, and being able just to I just kind of don't even look anymore. It's just kind of natural. I look at the pin. I don't look at my feet. I'm sorry, people. I'm weird. I just line up wherever my angle looks good at, and then I say, okay, I'm going to make it right here, like that.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I don't do much of I don't try to do much. I don't try to keep it crazy. Kyle, if you're going to comment on our Gosh Darn stream, you might as well be here. All right?
Streaming the best we can.
I don't know why he's commenting.
We'll show his comment. Just
Practice spares is huge. Sport shots are extremely important. Practicing on bumpers gives too much room. Yeah, Kyle, but sometimes people don't have all those.
What's wrong with
averages.
bumpers, Kyle?
Yeah, I like bumpers, Kyle. I'm a 4-year-old. Yeah, but spares, that's about all I'm good for these days. You can ask anybody I bowl with. That's about all I'm good for.
Yep. Spare shooting?
Yep. I don't throw lots of strikes. Everybody knows that. Kyle says fact. Yep. It's all I'm good for is spares. But, looking at it now with spares, make sure you practice them. If you don't know how to make them straight, I recommend it. It takes away a lot of the guess game, but make sure you have a urethane ball or a plastic ball. It's probably the most important thing for that, and that is your number one ball.
Yeah, I go back and forth.
Yeah, you're crazy.
I hook at it, I throw straight at them, depending on the pattern.
If it's a house shot,
I can three-wheel it through the middle of the lane, I'm going to look at the force out.
If it's a house shot, I'll let it slide. But when I'm getting ready for a tournament, I will more than likely throw spares at everything straight for the whole week, just to make sure I'm in there. But talking about number one ball in the bag, which is your spare ball.
Yep.
Gentlemen, Arsenal is number 2 on our list. Practice is number 1 because you obviously need to get better, but number 2 is Arsenal and Arsenal building. When you go to a pattern, you can't use the same ball that you use on your house shot. I mean, yes and no, but when you're going to an event with a lot of money, are you going to rather go with 2 or 3? Or are you going to rather go with 5 or 6 or maybe 10 or 12 if you're caught?
I don't even like coming into league with 3 anymore.
Yeah,
I stopped bringing 6 in.
Yeah,
I only bring 3 in. If I
bring
can't get it done with those 2, I'm throwing the urethane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's about
that.
Ever since the Dave Wadka podcast. Dave, if you're listening, a lot of the guys who listen to that podcast literally roll in with 3 ball bags, and that's it now.
Yep.
Not many people come in with 5 anymore. I come in with 5 if I need it. I did only bring 3 tonight, but a lot of guys are only starting to bring in 3 because of of what you said. Yeah, you want to click on something, go ahead, because you're laughing over there. There's no such thing as a spare ball. It's just a ball if you don't hit your spares. Yeah. I mean, listen, Carl, if you are making spares, it's just a ball, buddy, but that's all I do, so I'm going to call it my spare ball. Or my urethane ball. But yeah, learning your arsenal is extremely important. Knowing what you have in your bag, working with your pro shop operator. Larry, we have done that. Austin, we have done that. We've gone through a bunch of balls. Austin,
bunch of layouts.
You're probably due for a ball sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
probably.
I know. Larry, you've gotten a few balls in your arsenal.
Always due for a ball.
Oh yeah, Larry loves bowling balls now.
Yeah.
What would you say? I mean, for me, if I'm going somewhere, I'm bringing 3 ASINs and 2 symmetricals. Obviously, my spare ball, I'm just gonna bring a 2-ball bag if we're going local. I'm not gonna say what's my favorite right now because I just throw some balls in my bag that look pretty that day and I go bowl. I mean, what do you like, Larry? Give me something you like. I mean, we're talking arsenal building here. You're going to a tournament, Turnpike Open. You 2 are bowling. What are you get 6 balls? What's going in your bag here?
Oh wow.
You don't have to say what,
Yeah.
but 2 symmetricals, 3 symmetricals. What would you like?
A lot of asymmetricals.
Austin, I know you prefer asymmetricals out the wazoo.
A lot.
I'm pretty sure I've drilled you all asymmetrical.
I think I only bring 1 symmetrical anywhere I go.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
Okay. I'm about half and half.
What do you prefer?
In house, I like symmetrical.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny
do.
because Larry is a very low tilt player, so symmetricals actually burn their energy off twice as quick. So typically, the guys like you don't typically like.
But where he
symmetrical
likes to play, it
but,
makes sense.
Yeah. What do you like about the symmetricals? What is it that really suits your eye?
I need it to read relatively early because I don't get a lot of back end. So it reads. It feels like it just creates a nice arc to the pocket.
Yeah,
Doesn't jump on me.
You want that angle early.
Yeah, but I can give it enough hand to hold energy and drive, and it just feels natural and comfortable.
Right.
And the ASIMs, I need them when I go to tournaments, so I have to have them.
So you're also a realist. Like we
I'm a
talked about,
realist.
you're a realist. You understand symmetricals are good for unhoused shots. Currently, the Axiom and Axiom Pearl, I think, are your 2 symmetricals that you're using. We got them last year.
Yep.
Yeah, he loves the Axiom one. You did go to tournament, so you've been throwing that proton physics.
Mm-hmm.
For Larry, because he's low tilt, he might like that predictability, but on the sport shots, if there's a little more volume, he likes a little bit more of a stronger core to help him get that extra little.
Well, typically on sports shots, from where I see you play on sports shots, you like the ball to get through the heads quick,
right?
Because you want to play that part of the lane where there's going to be a lot of hook in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So you like the ball to skid through the front really quick, so it can get to its transition fast.
Absolutely,
is what I see.
Yes,
right.
That's exactly it.
So I guess having versatility, creating some different shapes, layouts. Austin talked about layouts. Yeah, layouts are big and important, especially when you gnaw on it like chicken dinner every shot. You two couldn't be farther apart. But it seems like it's interesting because Austin likes the asymmetrics. Larry typically prefers the symmetrical rounded shapes. Austin, you like the harsher shapes, I think. A little more stand-uppy. I like them a little smoother, but it's interesting to see, make sure you get with your pro shop operator and really, find stuff that suits your eye. I think the proton fits you really well. The stuff we drilled for you, I think, rolls really well for you. Get with them, talk to them. If you're going to make that jump, you got to make sure you invest in some equipment as well.
Well, I'm a firm believer if you have the ability and the time to drill a bunch of different balls over a point of a year, just test the waters.
Yeah.
It's going to take you a while to figure out what you like. So if you can get it done in a year, then you can start building an arsenal for your tournaments.
Right.
And that's what we did a couple of years ago when
we experimented and we got them right.
Hard because Nationals was atrocious.
You stunk it up.
And only 5-0. It was fun.
Yeah. It's definitely experimenting with layouts.
Especially the different. I think cover stock is very important in the game nowadays.
Absolutely. I think once you find a right cover stock, stick with it in a way, right? Would you agree?
I would agree.
Yeah. I mean, I like a few certain cover stocks, and I try to stick around the same type of cover stock, give me the same traction. If I have a ball that has XYZ cover stock, then I usually, if one comes out with another one or it's a different type, I get it because I figure it's going to be very similar. It's going to give me something that's close. NEX, you've got the Axiom Pearl, and the Proton Physics. So Larry stays within that family. So when he does ball change, he doesn't get stuck in maybe different blends of a cover stock, or there's different minerals or a different brand.
Right.
I do feel like that makes a difference as well.
I think it makes a huge difference.
I think if you go from Brunswick to Storm and you try to flip-flop a little bit more, I think they use some different stuff. I think it's a little harder. That's my opinion.
Especially for me is the wear.
Yeah.
The wear on your surface.
Yeah.
How fast it smooths out.
Right.
And
that was my
some
next point.
cover stocks last a lot longer.
Yeah, and it's funny because there's certain ones that do and certain ones that don't. But talking about surface prep was the last piece in that arsenal. Is don't be afraid to use surface, especially if you're bowling on sport shots. When you're on a league shot, if you're transitioning over. Typically on a league shot for me, I'm using the Pearl asymmetrics or a really weak hybrid, really weak Pearl. Something that's going to give me some length. But when we go to tournament shots or you go on sport shots, you go to big events, typically trying to hook the lane a little differently. House shots, I like that big angle. Something that's going to really drive through the pins for me. And when we get to those sport shots, I do like to control the lane a little bit better. Instead of having my angles be from left to right. Think about hook that way. I think about my hook front to back when I get to the turn.
I try to do that.
Yeah, and that's what makes it a little.
Gutters.
I just like the ball to rev up a little quicker. That's all. So I think when you go from tournament to league and league to tournament, the arsenal become different. So
For sure.
maybe some different balls in a way,
I actually have a really
like-
good example for that.
There you go.
From the 300 Thursday night. I threw a hammer softs at 1,000 and absolutely torched the head of the lane
Yeah, that's
and lost all ball reaction.
yeah. So sometimes it's not about having all the surface on the house shot, but when you're moving lanes on a sports shot, you can create a little more traction, get a little more predictability.
Yep.
If that's what we're talking about here, and creating a better motion. But on house shot, typically like sometimes booms a little more.
I mean, you can create.
Sure.
I think
Who
you can
doesn't?
create any on a house shot.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
So don't be afraid of surface. Lower surface makes it hooks earlier. A guy who puts 180 grit on everything for a house shot, he might as well ball in a parking lot. Carl, you are 100% right, buddy.
Jake Rivers used to do that.
Jake Rivers did that too, but he throws it 25 miles an hour.
Yep.
That is
Yeah.
crazy. I would never put 180 on a ball. The lowest I go is 800, and that's on my urethane ball. But don't be afraid of surface on sports shots. But when you go to house shots, like a little higher is a little bit better, I think, unless you really can't get it to hook.
180.
Yeah.
Man.
Surface can be intimidating. The idea of surface can be intimidating. It's like that one of those next level things. You got your arsenal and you're learning, you're this, that, and then you go, I got to sand these things. And
Yeah.
what if I mess them up? And I
Well, yeah.
2,000, 3,000, what did it come from the factory at? And it's a lot, but you just grab a pad, sand it, and
You can always go
and
back.
remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
you
what
can
people
go
don't
back.
realize. If you
It's
don't
easy.
like it, you can go back to factory.
You can get it
do
close.
something a little different.
And it's very
Absolutely.
cool when you get that dry,
love
solid,
that.
and then it gets all shiny, and then you make it all look
Dull
new
again.
again.
Absolutely.
And you kind of realize, wow, I do need to turn back the
That's what
clock.
happens,
as I
yeah.
go with these balls.
Exactly.
It's
They
important.
do go up pretty quickly, believe it or not. 3 games, I think it goes from like 1,000 to 5,500, or that's what they were saying.
It was ridiculous when I heard that. I was
Yeah.
like, now I know why.
It's
I
not
leave
you,
10
it's the
pins
ball.
3 games in.
Yeah.
I have messengers coming off the wall. 3rd game, all of a sudden it's 10 pins. Oh, it makes sense now
Right.
because the cover stock's starting to pearl. It's starting to become pearl almost.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's getting that
Not
lane
quickly.
shine on it. And then the last thing we have for people, if you're going from tournament or from league bowler to tournament bowler, you've got the practice in. You're practicing, you're learning how to keep your timing. You're learning how to just be more consistent of a player. Spares. Then you've got your arsenal building. You talk to your PO. You added some money into your game. You got some new balls. You're learning about them. They know what they do on certain things. You've kind of learned a little bit about what they do when you're at your house, your normal house. The last thing that I would say, you guys tell me if you agree, is you need to get out there and get the experience. I don't see a lot of guys who come. Some guys do. Don't get me wrong. But if you go, like, take a high school bowler, if he goes and bowls in a college tournament right away, typically they don't have that much success unless they're that good and they've been brought up in that environment.
Yep.
If you're bowling house shots all day long, and then you go to those tournament shots,
Where they're wheeling over the gutter cap.
that's that's not how you typically play it. You're not going to be as good. So when you get out there, you're learning. Every time you go out there, even if you bowl bad, you need to learn. Larry, what did you take away? I mean, Larry's is going from league bowler to tournament hero.
Yep.
And I'm going to get what you think here. What do you think? Was the most important thing from the Turnpike Open that you learned that you will take head going forward, or just a few things? Touch on it a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, nerves was huge because you can't bowl if you're tight, and I couldn't loosen up. So I don't know, yoga or if you can try to find your breathing method, but you got to bowl. You just got to get past it. You got to feel that a bunch of times in a bunch of different scenarios, I think, and just start to ascend up into the atmosphere you're entering. And then there's like reoccurring problem themes, like not switching balls until it's 6-8 frames.
Trusting
sometimes
yourself.
Games
Yeah.
too late. You gotta trust. You gotta pick up that ball and throw it like you want to throw it, and just be confident it's gonna.
Confident in your ball change, confident in your arsenal.
Yeah, you have to be. I mean, otherwise you're kind of floundering. And these guys were confident.
Yeah.
They knew what their ball was going to do. They knew what ball change to make, and they don't give you anything. So you got to be that good.
I think piggybacking off of that too is they when you're first stepping into the tournament scene, these guys have bowled for so long, they know what it feels like to execute their shot. And if it doesn't do what they want, trust me, they're not staying with that ball.
Yeah.
And trust me, they don't think it's themselves.
No.
Right.
It is not
And
themselves.
I know going towards, and I still think the same way sometimes. I throw a ball and I'm like, I don't know if I threw that one good.
Yeah. That's
But
it.
should I switch or should I throw this one again? And you always throw that one again.
Yeah,
And,
you do. Sure you do.
Usually 9 times out of 10, I say I probably should have switched.
Yeah.
I think you should maybe have a rule for yourself. A wise
2
man,
shots.
his name was Joey D.
Joey D.
Said, just 2 shots on the same lane with the same ball. And if you're not striking, you're not getting the reaction, you need to switch.
Right.
Don't throw 3 more. Try to get one that you threw really good to make sure.
Right. Yeah. That's very true. Typically they say 2 frames, and if you don't have the ball reaction you're looking for in 2 frames, probably get out of that ball and switch to try to find something that's going to work. Completely agree.
I think
did that happen to you in that Turnpike Open? Was that the issue in a way too? I know you were a little nervous. Did you have
me and Larry also had a conversation at the not the Turnpike Open, but the tournament club, because he made the decision in the tournament club to switch balls.
Right.
And we talked about it because we practiced on the same pair that Saturday. And he had the ball reaction he was looking for with the other one, but it wasn't enough. So I told him straight away, I said, switch balls. If you don't like it in a frame or 2, go back, because you can get to the pocket with the other one.
Right. It's interesting because we bowled last night on that pattern for the weekend. We were bowling Mark Taylor. Some know Mark. Mark, if you're listening, hey, Mark, what's up? Anyways, I don't know if he's listening, but he was using one ball, and I ended up saying, I really don't like this ball. And he was like, I kind of like it for you. We were kind of chit-chatting, and then I switched to another ball, ended up shooting 2-0. Actually had a good back half of the game. And then all of a sudden at the end of his game, he switched balls, and he's like, wow, well, I just found it. And then after a little bit of collaboration, we kind of determined what cores or what weight blocks, what type of bowling balls we thought were going to work a little bit better. So that's where I'm kind of getting my ideas. But, when you get out there, you got to know what you're going to go to. You got to understand where you are, what weight block you're using, and that comes in with practice and experience. Changing balls. If you don't change balls, you're never going to know.
Yeah. I went into day 2 ready to have the same ball in my hand and stand in the same spot, and it was not the situation. It was not viable, and I fought that. I said, well, no, I got to get
somewhere.
back to
I got to find it.
I get back to what I was doing.
Yeah,
That got me here, and
the plan.
it wasn't there to be had. So
I think the other thing, is even though I was there, I officiated your match, by the way. I don't know if you remember. And I could not say, I can't say a word, but we talked a little bit after. I thought he could have had the right ball, very similar. I just thought you were in the wrong part of the lane. And I think when you're in a tournament play situation and the nerves are getting to you, the most important thing is try not to tense up a little bit, but also make a lot of your spares. I think you missed a few easy ones in there, and I think you lost by 10 or 20. Right, the game it was like 160, 150 if I remember. I'm not throwing, being mean to people, but you miss 1 or 2 spares. Now you're tensing up even more. If you can free up a little bit, make those spares. You're okay. I might have got to leave here. He's got to throw a double, catch up. He missed the spare. Instead of that missed spare, you got 10 extra. So I think that's extremely important. When you have those nerves, is to try to stay loose. And even if you aren't going to stay loose, league play is always kind of freewheeling. Because it's league play, right? You get to that tournament, you're trying to make it for that $2,000-$3,000 check at the end, and you're the final 10 or whatever.
There's a lot more thoughts than
you're a little tenser, you're a little more grippy. Those guys are making ball changes, and that guy you bowled against, Craig Taylor, were probably not even thinking twice about switching balls. He probably switched balls 3 or 4 times that game. And not even thinking about
what was knowing Craig, he planned on switching balls the shot he threw the other ball.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, if this doesn't work here, we're going to.
He already thought about it. He had the ball in mind, and that same with the pros.
But
when they go into day 3 of a tournament, they have 3 balls in a line. Starting with this one. If that doesn't work, it's this one, and then this is the finish.
Exactly. That's the thing. So, what those tournament guys have, they got a little more experience. They know when to change balls, like we talked about. They don't care. They don't fear that change balls where you might have gripped onto a little bit too long. So if you're a lead guy, don't be afraid to switch balls. You got nothing to lose. And the thing I have to say, I got to tell Larry, you're in the finals. You already cash, baby. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You already got money in your hand. I always am more nervous in qualifying than I want to get to match play.
Yeah,
I don't mind. If I make match play, I don't care if I lose. I never do.
I already got the money in my hand.
I already got money in my hand.
But the thing is I just try not to make spares. I don't even try to throw strikes at that point. I just try not to throw splits.
Yeah,
I let them beat themselves. I try to let them beat themselves.
I like splits in important situations, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah,
Spares in terms
Preferably the four
period
down.
are so important.
right.
I mean, you can't advance
Right.
without staying clean because you're not just going to sit strike.
Speaking on spare shooting, I use it. Not many other people else use it. There's apps on your phone where you can visually see. You can put your score in, what pin it was, your spares, and at the end of each month, you can go through your spare percentages and see what spares you need to work on. I mean, it shows you everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I can pull it up and
You can see all of his spare percentages from
spare
way back.
percentage from this year, last year, both years combined.
Yeah.
It's a great tool to utilize in my opinion.
Right.
I gotta get that. I don't do that, but I see people doing it. It looks cool.
Yeah, I have everything. I can tell how many times I've made the Greek church.
Okay. Wow.
Zero. I got a new phone, so reset. It's 0 right now. Anthony made one.
What did I do?
Greek church.
I hit a Greek church last night. I did.
Very cool.
I got lucky. But so wrap it up here, gents, because we could probably talk about this for a while. I think we hit a lot of stuff on the head. You're going from league player to tournament player. I keep starting the other way around. You're going from league player to tournament player. Remember, come practice. You do have to practice to get better. If you're going to go play golf, you're not just going to go play golf every time and go put money up to play golf. No, you're going to hit the driving range. You're going to practice 3 rounds. You're going to get that going. Even get a lesson if you really have to, because your pro shop guy or your local pro might be able to help you out a little bit. Bowling balls, invest in bowling balls. They're going to help you make money.
A lot of bowling balls. Just keep
And
investing.
not everyone is a hit. I mean, you got to be ready to buy 2 or 3, and every third or fourth one just be a dud. It just doesn't work.
I have probably 4 or 5 sitting on the rack at home that I threw 10 games and just wasn't the ball for me.
Yes, exactly. You don't know. There's no way to know.
So invest in some equipment, learn the equipment, learn a little bit more about the game layouts, try to talk to your pro shop operators, see what he says, learn your game, what you're good at. Don't try to go too far outside of it. In a way, yes, you have to sometimes, but play within your game. A lot of the best bowlers don't get flustered and they play their A game almost all the time.
I definitely suggest get good at your game first and then start to broaden your horizon.
Right.
And get into, changing hand position. You know, this is what I have to do to play here.
And then last but not least, get the experience, get out there. Don't be afraid, because you know what? You're never going to know how good you can be until you go out there and try. It's kind of like going to the gym. A lot of people don't go to the gym because they're nervous to go to the gym. We go to the tournaments. You're nervous to go to the tournaments, and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do. I'm going to stink. Who cares if you stink or not? I've come in last place in plenty of tournaments, and now I'm halfway decent. I'm not going to say I'm great. I'm halfway decent. But you got to get out there and get that experience and to learn what you want to do, how to play the lane, and learn your strengths.
Yep.
So,
out of the comfort zone. Get out of the comfort zone.
Yeah. So do we have any questions we can answer quick? We do have one more thing as bowl of the week, but there is one
We
question.
can run some questions if someone's got questions.
What spare ball do I suggest? K-pop, just get a T-zone or a Maxim or a white dot, buddy. Just come in, let me know what color you like, and we'll get you something. They're fairly cheap.
Storm ice.
Storm ice, you get a storm ice too. That's Larry's choice, because it's just for league play. Now,
There wasn't.
what do we got? One more question. Alice is going to roll through, but before we leave you here, bowler of the week. I don't know if you know this guy. Bowler of the week this week is going to be Tom Egan. Let's do a little golf top for him today. Tom Egan recently came to me, by the way. Got 2 balls drilled up. And last week or 2 weeks ago, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was last week. He did have back-to-back 300 games 1 and 2. I believe he ended up with about 830 or something.
I couldn't imagine. Haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I did it this year. It's pretty incredible. I did it games 2-3 against your father.
I did it 2 and 4.
2 and 4. Yeah,
I have not gone back to back.
Yeah, back-to-back's crazy. I never would have thought I did it, but congratulations to Tom Egan. Back-to-back 300 games. Super impressive.
Congrats.
Drilled by me.
What ball was it?
It's good to see that. I like to see people have success with stuff we drill.
What ball was it?
It was, I don't know what he used. We just recently drilled him a dynamic swing and a purple hammer. I don't think it was the purple hammer.
Probably not.
But I think it was the dynamic swing. Nice. So do we have any other questions? We don't. I think we hit them all, right? We hit them all. So
Jack has said like 5 times this podcast that you're his hero. I have to say it. So you are now Jack's hero.
I'm glad to be his hero, but
I
will
throw
not
a number
tight.
Is Kyle bowling tonight?
Kyle is bowling tonight. Larry is also bowling tonight.
Beautiful.
He's bowling for Artie Hoffman. He's bowling with my dad tonight.
I don't walk in the door without bowling.
No, he doesn't.
I mean, that's a good motto to have right there.
Yeah.
It
I'm
was a
here. I
dynamic
walk in
swing,
here
by the
all the
way.
time.
Dynamic
And
swing.
I don't bowl.
Oh, okay. Or just maybe get a beer.
Maybe that's the problem.
Okay. Yeah. If
So,
you're
I figured
here,
it out.
pick up an alley ball. It's all right.
I always got my it's in the trunk of the car.
Okay. No excuse.
Shoes on.
Zero excuses.
But guys, it is time to go bowling. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Make sure you see us on the Facebook, Instagram, the Twitter. You can go back and watch these on YouTube. I don't know if they're on
You
Facebook.
can download it
You can
anywhere there's
download it.
podcasts.
Yep, your phone. Take it to go. Listen to the car. On the airplane. I don't know. Let's see. Now we're on to that point here. I'm trying to be just like Kyle here. Thanks to Larry for coming in tonight. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the topic. I thought it was very interesting. I think we could have went another half an hour with it, to be honest with you. We tried to kind of
We probably could have a 2 hour show out of this.
we kind of sped
If
through.
Kyle was here.
Make sure you subscribe. Austin, the producer, for the first time on camera for
Hey,
an
we're
hour.
on camera. We're on camera today.
Congratulations.
Got to let him out more often.
Yeah, he's a good guy, but we just, girls just want to have fun. You ever heard that show? Got to keep him locked up in the dark.
That show.
Whatever, music video. I don't know. If you can't watch the show, download and listen from any major podcast outlet. Please make sure to give us a 5-star review. Also, in next week's poll, we're going to ask who was a better host, me or Kyle. Very heated debate right now within the household of us. If you like me getting show suggestions or show topics, ask for a ball review, email us at downlanepod@gmail.com. Austin, thanks for the show. Jacko, thanks for letting us use the shop as I'm been in here. Man, I'm terrible at this outro.
It's okay.
Tough. This outro is tough.
Kyle said it like 15 episodes in a row now, so.
Yeah, he's pretty good at it now. Austin, thanks for the show. Larry, once again, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to myself for not screwing up too badly today.
I mean, we can thank Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle, for not showing up. You just showed how awesome I am. We will see you guys next week. This is Downlane Podcast.
Au revoir.